It was a cloudy evening in July when Arohi first arrived in the city. She had a single backpack, a secondhand suitcase, and the kind of emptiness in her chest that doesn't echo, only stays. The city was loud, bigger than the one she had left behind, but none of its noise could match the silence she had been carrying since her parents' accident. 18 years old, just starting college, and already learning how to live alone. Her new mess room was simple. White walls, a wooden study table, and a rented cupboard that smelled faintly of camphor and wet books. But the most precious thing in that room sat untouched on her table. A laptop. Second-hand, slightly scratched, but hers. Arohi hadn't checked it deeply before buying. The shopkeeper had said it was empty, cleaned, factory reset, and it looked like it. No photos, no documents, just the standard OS and a few pre-installed apps. Nothing unusual. The first night, she opened it casually. No passwords, no security. It booted quickly, and on the desktop, in the bottom corner, was a small icon. Just a dot. She hovered her mouse over it. No text appeared. It didn't open. It didn't react. She assumed it was some leftover glitch, a broken app, maybe, so she left it. What did matter more were the emails. There were 2 or 3 in the inbox. No sender name, just a dot in the from field, and the subject lines, "I know it's hard to be alone. You're stronger than you think. They would be proud of you." At first, Arohi assumed it was spam, or worse, some scam attempt. But the writing inside felt different, gentle, personal, almost like someone had read her thoughts. "Your pain doesn't define you, but it will make you powerful. Keep breathing. Tomorrow is waiting." Her fingers hovered above the keyboard. She wanted to reply, but there was no address to respond to. Days passed, and each time she logged in, a new message would appear. Different words, same dot. "Eat well today. You skipped lunch yesterday. I noticed. You're not alone. I'm here. I believe in you." The strangest thing, the laptop was still empty. No software that could track her, no background apps, no cloud sync, just that dot on the corner of the screen. And yet, these emails felt like they came from someone who saw her. Arohi started saving them in a folder named Sunlight. She didn't know why. There was something else strange, too. Arohi had a mark on the back of her neck. She had always thought of it as a birthmark, a small, round, black dot. But when she checked closely in the mirror one day, under the yellow bathroom light, she noticed something different. A faint white ring glowed just around the black spot, like a halo, like light trapped behind darkness. It looked almost exactly like a solar eclipse. She couldn't remember when she had gotten it. She didn't remember a tattoo needle or a scar. Just one day it was there. It didn't hurt, it didn't feel artificial, but it felt... One evening, she opened her laptop after college and something felt off. The startup sound was a second too late. The screen brightness flickered once, only once before stabilizing. And the new message wasn't like the others. "You laughed today, but one of your friends didn't mean it." She frowned. There was a photo attached. A candid from college, taken from a strange angle. In it, Arohi was laughing with her friends, but zoomed in, one of them had a strange expression, half smile, half smirk. She stared. For the first time, fear trickled into her curiosity. The next message came the following night. "Everything good has a shadow, even you." And below that, a small image attachment. Just a dot. Black, perfectly round. She opened it. Nothing changed. But when she returned to the desktop, she noticed the corner icon had grown slightly. The original dot, it was now pulsing. She still didn't know what it was. She still thought it might be in her head. But it had begun. The messages would now alternate. Sometimes hope, sometimes dread. "Don't trust the one who always agrees. You're enough. You always were. They're watching. Not all smiles are warm." And every time the dark messages came, the pulsing dot in the corner got bigger. She began to name the two sides. Sunlight. Shadow. And then, one afternoon, while cleaning her inbox, Arohi noticed something deeply unsettling. There weren't just a few emails. There were hundreds going years back from the year she was born. Every year, one mail. Sometimes motivational, sometimes just a line. But more terrifying, before every major event in her life, good or bad, there had been an email. The night before her first academic award, a glowing mail of encouragement. The evening before her biggest school failure, a black dot mail with a message. Sometimes falling is part of learning. And just one day before her parents' fatal car accident, she had received this. Tomorrow may take something you love. Don't forget how to keep living. A chill crept down her spine. This wasn't just a coincidence. The laptop hadn't been tracking her from the day she bought it. It had known her from the very beginning. She didn't know how. But someone, or something, had been watching for a long, long time. Arohi didn't know it yet, but she wasn't the only one living this life. The sky turned eerily quiet that night. The streets were nearly empty. It was a rare solar eclipse, the full moon blanketed by the sun's shadow. A celestial pause. Arohi felt uneasy, even before she opened her laptop. When she did, the desktop lit up instantly. The pulsing dot had changed. It now shimmered like a ring of fire, dark center, glowing edges. A perfect eclipse. Drawn by something she couldn't explain, Arohi clicked it. This time something happened. A window opened, not a file, not a folder, not a browser tab. It was a literal window, a glowing frame of light. And on the other side of that digital glass sat a girl. Arohi froze. She could see everything. The girl looked real. Messy black hair tied into a bun, pale skin, eyes sunken with sleeplessness. She wore an oversized hoodie, sleeves chewed at the ends. Behind her, a room cluttered with books, wires, empty cups, tangled headphones, sticky notes full of formulas and code. The walls seemed to close in. The girl, the one watching her out surprised, but Arohi? She was shaken. She leaned in slowly, as if afraid the image might vanish. And then the girl on the other side spoke. "You can see me now." Arohi blinked. Her throat felt dry. "Who are you?" The girl sighed. "I'm the one who made you." Arohi stared, unable to process. "What are you saying? You're not exactly real, Arohi. You're something I built. I wrote every line of your world. Your college, your friends, your laughter, even your pain." "No, that can't be true. I have memories. My parents, my childhood, my mess room, my classes. I know. I made those too." Arohi felt her knees weaken. Why? Why would anyone do this? The girl looked down because I was alone. She took a long breath, then continued. "My name is Mira. I'm 17. I just finished school. My parents, they want me to become a doctor, but I don't want that. I love AI. I love creating things, but they don't listen. They love me, but they don't hear me. So you made me?" "Yes, I made someone who got the life I wished for. Loving parents who eventually let go. Friends who admire her, a passion for code, freedom." Her voice cracked slightly. "At first, it was beautiful. Watching you made me happy, but then I saw you being too happy, getting everything I wanted without fighting for it. I started feeling jealous. Human, right?" She gave a broken smile. "So I added the black dots. I twisted a few things, turned some friends against you, made the smiles colder, made your wins feel smaller. It felt fairer, you know? Like if you had the sunshine, I'd give you some shadow too." Arohi felt tears prick her eyes. "I cried when they died," she whispered. "My parents, I cried for days, yet I thought that was real. I cried writing it." Silence hung between them. "So what now?" Arohi asked. Mira's face hardened. Her hand moved to the keyboard beside her. "Tomorrow, I leave for medical college. I don't have time for this anymore. I have to let go. I have to delete you. But you weren't meant to last. You were my escape, my healing. But now you're becoming my prison. I can't keep holding on to a perfect world while mine stays broken." Arohi shook her head. She backed away from the screen. "No, please. Don't. I exist. I feel. But Mira had already typed the command. Eclipse.exe. The window began to close. Arohi reached for the screen as if touch could stop it. Her vision flickered. Her world, the walls, the room, the air, all started fading. She looked up one last time. Mira was still watching, but her eyes were full, and then everything turned black. Arohi's presence, her story, her laughter, gone, deleted. And Mira? She sat alone in the quiet hum of her real world, staring at the blank screen. Her fingers trembled, but she didn't cry. Not really. She was just still. The eclipse on her screen had vanished, but the shadow remained in her heart.
There was a song with your name as the title.